Hi, welcome to the Hard Rock Show. I'm Shane.
I'm Andrew.
And on tonight's episode, we've got plenty to talk about. We've got new releases from Tenacious D, Tony McAlpine, The Cult, Fear Factory.
Yep.
Fear Factory.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
Yes.
A feature artist tonight is a band from San Antonio, Texas called Eden Burning. Really cool, dirty rock band.
Yeah, we got a new segment.
Love.
Yeah, we got a new segment as well, which we're not going to spill the beans on just yet. It'll come up later on.
No, they'll find it.
Yeah.
If they keep watching.
Yes, that's the point. So keep watching.
And we're also going to bring out a clip of the week, which...
I guess we'll get straight into it.
Let's do it now.
Yeah.
Why not?
Fair enough.
Okay, our clip of the week this week is Electrik Dynamite with their song Midnight Rider. They're an awesome young band from Melbourne.
Yep.
They've been around for quite a while.
A few years now, yeah.
Real glam throwback sort of thing. Real Def Leppard vibe.
Real 80s. Real 80s. I mean, if you couldn't tell by the clip already, you've got all your... I don't know, they got the big hair and the fluoro gear, and you're just waiting for something like Europe to come out of this mix as well.
Yeah,
yeah,
definitely.
Even the guitar keyboard thing, I forget the name of that bloody instrument now, but yeah.
The keytar.
There you go. So they've even got one of those in there.
And it adds a real awesome element to the music too, I reckon.
Yeah.
If it wasn't there, you probably wouldn't notice it was missing, but once you've heard the music with that in there, you don't want to hear it without it.
It's a subtle thing. Yeah. It's those keys in songs like what they've done are really subtle, and they're really good to fill out the sound.
And let's be honest, they've got a hot chick playing the keytar as well, so
that makes things much more worthwhile.
That brings it up a notch. So let's have a look right now at the clip. It's Midnight Rider from Electrik Dynamite. All right, that was our clip of the week. It was Electrik Dynamite with their song Midnight Rider. It's from their album Hair Denim Sex Metal, which was released last year. Awesome album. As we said before, very 80s. Very cool.
Yes, enjoyable.
Now, we have to mention that the singer, Maverick, as he's known, is leaving the band. Or he's actually, by the time you see this, he's left the band.
They're doing their last gig as we film this.
Yes, they're actually doing their last gig right as we speak.
Yep.
So, if there's anybody interested in auditioning for the band,
Details are on the screen.
details will be down the bottom of the screen.
Yep.
Get in contact and put your best foot forward.
Good luck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so straight into some news for the hard rock happenings.
Yes.
First up, we've got a biography coming out by the one and only Dee Snider of Twisted Sister fame.
Yes.
Now, there's been a lot of biographies lately. It seems to be the fashion. If you're not releasing a DVD about your band, you're writing a tell-all biography about your band.
Well, some more tell-all than others.
Oh, yeah, definitely. And, I mean, I love reading them.
Yeah.
I really, really do. And I love watching the documentaries as well.
Yep.
But as yet, there's no Twisted Sister documentary, which could be a really interesting watch. But the book seems like it's going to be a pretty interesting read. It's full of backstage stories. Like, there's one that you were telling me about.
Yeah, no, there's a really interesting one that came out of this. Now, there's the story of the first time that Twisted Sister actually played the UK. They were supporting Motorhead. And Lemmy himself, out of the goodness of his own heart, I guess, in some way, shape or form, came out and introduced the band and said, these are friends of mine from the United States, give them a listen. And the fans literally stopped throwing crap at the band mid-swing to let the band be heard. And apparently the gig went absolutely nuts, and they had a whole new following in the UK after that.
And the rest, as they say, is history.
Yep.
We all know Twisted Sister, highly influential in the glam era.
Yep.
The unfortunate part about the article that I read is that Dee Snider also says that new original music from Twisted Sister is highly unlikely at this point. So,
well, there's a lot of water under the bridge to go through for that to happen, I reckon. I mean, Eddie Trunk was instrumental in getting them together.
They are together.
Yeah.
That's the thing. But every year they get together and they do the reunion sort of tour, or the nostalgia sort of tour.
Yeah, that's what it is now.
And they do like a Christmas sort of record, and they play Christmas carols and shit like that.
And they do a really strange show for Christmas, but this is Twisted Sister, so...
But it's also awesome.
Yeah,
It's strange, but it's awesome. I've seen some footage of it.
Well, they're the only ones doing it.
Yeah.
This way.
Yeah.
And that's really good to speak out on there, so...
But, I mean, there's a lot of people that would love to see some awesome new music from them. Stay Hungry was a fantastic album. It's probably one of the best albums of all time.
Yep.
And I'd love to see them have another crack at it.
It would be good. It would
Definitely.
be very good. Yep.
Now,
well, this next one's a little bit...
You've got another one.
Yeah, this next one's a little bit different. Now, we haven't as yet talked about things like iTunes and apps for your iPhone, iPod Touch, and whatever else have you. But there's one that's relevant. There's one that Slash has been involved with. It's from Amplitude, and it allows you to plug your guitar into your phone or iPod Touch or whatever it is you've got to run around with, and you can play digitally through Slash's rig. It's a fully recordable device, so you can change presets and whatever else have you, but you can digitally play through Slash's customized rig and record what you play.
And it's not just the amps and everything, is it?
It's the pedals
right down
as well.
to the pedals.
Yep.
So it's kind of really cool for all the budding young guitarists out there that absolutely idolise Slash, and there's thousands, probably millions of them that do so.
Deservingly so too.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yep.
They can now carry Slash's rig around in their pocket,
Yeah.
and rock out like their hero. So,
Assuming you can pull it off. But practice makes perfect.
yeah, well, not everybody's like me.
Oh, you're gonna get on that path, are you?
I'm a hero. I'm a guitar hero.
Yeah, Guitar Hero.
Fucking oath.
Yeah, go and play a Guitar Hero. I'll go and stick to the real guitar, thanks.
No, I said I was a Guitar Hero. I don't play Guitar Hero. I rocked a guitar like a champion. Probably.
wishful thinking, my friend, I think.
I said probably.
It does go out to being a 4-track recorder as well, so there's more benefits than just the one being able to play with the sound of Slash, so you can actually go and record things and stuff with it too, which is really handy to have in your pocket.
Awesome.
Yeah. Cool.
Now, onto a bit of local news.
Yes.
It's sort of an unfortunate piece of news, I suppose.
Yep.
We've got a bunch of awesome local bands around Melbourne and Australia in general that are currently looking for members to join their ranks. Now, we have Shots Fired, who are a great young band originally from Perth, who have relocated to Melbourne.
Yep.
They're currently looking for a drummer. We have Medusa, who are another influential Melbourne band. They've been around for 20-odd years.
They've been a part of the scene for a very long time.
A huge amount of time.
Yep.
They used to play with the likes of Catwitch,
Yep.
Back in the Cat House days that everybody raves about.
Yep. The heyday, so to speak.
Yeah.
Yep.
Back when metal was really ruling the world.
Yep.
They're also looking for a drummer. And then we have our good friends Piston Broke from Adelaide are now looking for a drummer as well. But that's drummers.
Yep.
We also have an awesome young band from Melbourne called Overdrive, heavily influenced by Iron Maiden and Judas Priest.
Old school stuff, really, really good influence, and this stuff is really good to see live as well.
Yep. Soon enough, you'll see us do a bit of a segment on Overdrive. But in the time being, they're now looking for a second guitar player for the band. So
more rhythm than anything else. So
yes.
Yep.
But if you're interested in putting your name forward for any of these bands, jump onto our Facebook page and look them up, because we've liked all their pages, and if you can't find them, ask us and we'll put you in contact.
Pretty easy.
They're awesome bands, and you'd be lucky to be a part of any of them.
Absolutely. Hands down.
Yep.
They're all on the up and up, so make sure you get involved and help out if you're willing to give it a go. You got nothing to lose, so have a crack.
Totally.
Last piece of news, I guess. Now, Dave Evans has come out of the woodwork. He's now come out and said that he thinks that the history of him and the original bass player, whose name I can't recall right now, Colin, something I forget, but
the original bass player.
The
of
original,
AC/DC.
Yep. Of AC/DC. He thinks that the history involving those two has been swept completely under the rug, and he's actually not happy about it, and he thinks it's actually insulting to the fans. He thinks that the fans know what's going on, the cat's out of the bag, so to speak, in his words, and he just thinks that AC/DC should come out and tell the whole truth. A point he made was about the Family Jewels release that came out and how they were not included in any way, shape or form. Now, there was a video released by AC/DC with Dave Evans singing, and that's effectively been buried. It's still around. You can still see it and stuff, but as far as the band is concerned, it's been buried, and he wants to see those things actually acknowledged by the band and doesn't think they should sweep it under the rug. He thinks they're actually insulting the fans by doing so. So thoughts on that would be interesting to hear about, I guess.
Well, I mean, there's a lot of history there, as in a lot of water under the bridge. It's been a long time. And he only ever recorded one song with the band plus a B-side.
Yep.
And that was Can I Sit Next to You, Girl?
Which was a cover to begin with. So.
Yeah, it was a cover to begin with. And then it went on to be redone by AC/DC with Bon Scott.
Yep.
And clearly that was a much better version.
I'll agree with you on that.
Don't get us wrong, we love Dave Evans.
Yes.
We're actually hoping to get him on the Hard Rock Show at some stage. We've actually had appointments with him before, and we've been the ones that have had to cancel.
Unfortunately, due to medical circumstances.
Yes,
so.
due to family issues and whatnot. But we'd love to get him on here and talk about it one day. So, Dave, if you're watching, get in contact and we'll make it happen again.
That'd be good.
Yes.
Yeah.
But right now, as always, we move from the news into the releases.
Exactly.
So, the first one we've got this week is Tenacious D's new release called Rise of the Phoenix.
Yep.
Now, we talked about this briefly earlier.
Yep.
Do you want to give the people your thoughts on it to begin with?
Okay, well, my thoughts are pretty straightforward. It's a good album. It's got a lot of your rock cliches and whatever else have you. It is a good stand-up rock record, but my problem with these kinds of things is when you rely on comedy to sort of get you through, I personally feel that they can get stale pretty quick. Now, I know you disagreed with me earlier, so I guess I'll throw it to you now. So your turn to have your say.
I don't think that Tenacious D used the comedy to get through.
Yep.
I think that basically, if you look into their history, Jack Black only ever became an actor to finance the rock and roll dream, so to speak.
Yep.
And they, as a band, they ended up doing a TV series on HBO, which was it was what it was. If you've seen it, it's pretty funny, you know, but it's pretty lowbrow. And then they went on to do The Pick of Destiny, which was, I think it was awesome. You know, you had cameos from Meatloaf and Ronnie James Dio in there, and I thought it was great.
Yep.
And the accompanying soundtrack, which was a Tenacious D album, was probably the best album they've done, in my opinion.
Yep.
I just think that they are a really cool band and they do some really original stuff, but maybe the fact that Jack Black's famous for other endeavours tends to get them a little bit overlooked and not give them as much credibility in the rock world as they deserve.
No, I agree with you on that. Absolutely. They are actually a very good rock band. And when I said the cliches there, it's not in a negative context. It's just as in, it's what you want out of a rock record. Musically, the songs stand up.
Yeah.
I think the thing that gets me about it is there's a couple of sketches on the album.
Yeah.
And I don't think that, I mean, it's a crossover between your comedy and your music. And lyrically, the songs have comedic value. And it's all fun and good. And it's funny. It's good stuff. But I just think that the sketches, I guess, for me, were what really put that in my mind. In that if you put sketches on there, there's only so many times you can hear them before.
I think the sketches are there to pay homage to the early days of their television series and the movie and whatnot.
Yep.
And they're there and they break it up, and I think it's cool. I think it's a cool album.
I do like it. I'm not saying I don't like it. I'm not panning it. I'm just saying that it's just I find it's a bit of a risk with comedy-based sort of themes.
Now, have you got any favourite albums? Favourite songs off the album?
Yeah,
Sorry?
I do. I like Low Hanging Fruit and Throwdown.
Yeah, I've got a couple. Low Hanging Fruit is one of my favourites as well, but I also really love the title track, Rise of the Phoenix.
Yep.
And also Death Star.
Yep.
It cracks me up. So, yeah, they're my favourites.
It is funny. It is good. Check it out. It's just a small point that I was making. So
Definitely.
Yep.
Okay, next release is a solo record by Tony McAlpine.
Yep.
It's a self-titled record. My thoughts on the album? I really think that Tony McAlpine is a talented, very, very talented and underrated guitar player. I really love the work that he did with Derek Sherinian in Planet X. I think Planet X is a great, great underrated band. Tony McAlpine, great underrated guitar player.
Yep.
But his albums are not for everybody.
No, I'm going to absolutely agree with you on that one. Yep.
I actually haven't got a standout track of this album because my personal thoughts are that it's way, way too samey.
Yep.
There's way too much of the same thing going on. Now, if this album's on your iPod and it comes up on shuffle, one song at a time, between other tracks, you're not going to have a problem with it. But if you're listening to it from start to finish, it goes for just over an hour and it becomes boring. It becomes stale.
Yep.
I really do like it, but I think there's a certain way to listen to this album and actually appreciate it.
Well, as I was saying to you earlier with this album, I feel that this is an album by a guitarist made for guitarists. It's not going to appeal to the general masses out there. I do like the album. I do like his work. I think he does a very good job, and he is, like you said, an underrated guitarist. He's got a boatload of talent, this guy. The other beef I've got with it is that, really, the rest of the music around the guitar solos end up being a backing band that gets turned into elevator music kind of thing. It's not really relevant anymore. He's he mixed it himself, and he's a renowned producer. But he's gone and pushed the rest of the stuff so far back in the mix that you're listening to him wail away on guitar, and he's good at it. He's really good at it. But you've got to have the balance right. That's my criticism of the album, and I don't think he got the balance right this time around. I do have a couple of tracks that I do like on it, and they are Dream Mechanism and Pyrokinesis. And the reason I like those two tracks more is I reckon they're the ones where the mixes are better. Collaboration, I guess, between all the parts combined. I like it when a guitar solo is a part of the whole and not the only thing you're supposed to listen to.
Fair enough.
Yep.
Next release for the week is The Cult with their new album called Choice of Weapon.
Yep.
Now, it's their first album in 5 years, and I think it's really cool.
I enjoyed this one thoroughly, yeah.
I actually really like it. There's a bit of everything going on here. Rock, punk, metal,
so many,
old school, new school. It's everything rolled into one, and it's really cool.
It's a very, very, very enjoyable album. I did the 3 words there, the 3 in a row thing. But no, it is very, very good, and 2 that time. And it is worth checking out. Ian Astbury, the last thing he did that we all knew about was his guest vocal on The Slash.
Yep.
And he hasn't taken a back step. He's still got all the talent in the world that he had before, and it really does flow.
Totally.
Yep.
My favourite two songs off the album. I keep saying album when I'm meaning to say something else tonight. But anyway.
Yep.
Elemental Light.
Yep.
And For the Animals. I think For the Animals is the absolute highlight of the record. That song, as soon as I heard it, right from the intro to the end, loved it.
Yep.
So check those songs out. And you've got some favourites as well.
My 2 for this one are The Wolf, and the other one is Wilderness Now. I guess I must have a thing for wild animals and wild things, but those 2 tracks really were the standouts for me.
Awesome.
Yes, very much so.
Now, Fear Factory.
You've been waiting to talk about this the whole bloody time, I reckon.
Well, I do love Fear Factory. I actually adore Fear Factory. They're the only band that I have tattooed on my body.
Yes, I remember the day you got that done.
A logo. This new album is called The Industrialist.
Yep.
It's awesome. I haven't even bothered to pick a favourite track off it because I love it all.
Yep.
From start to finish. It's fantastic. It's great to see Burton and Dino working together again, even though they worked together on the last album. The only thing that disappoints me about this record is that it's got completely programmed drums on it.
Yeah, yep.
I like live drums, so I think they should have, gone to a bit of better effort on that. But
that's the only criticism I have as well, and it gets to the point where there are certain times where it's obviously unnatural in the sound of it. And I think maybe if they'd been more subtle in the mix of it, it might have been a bit easier to get away with it. But
as long as they can pull it off live,
yeah, that's the thing.
There's no problem with it.
Absolutely.
But it does feel really fake and digital on the album sometimes.
That does also work in their favour, though, for what they are about, and that's about the whole album, the theme. It's a concept album about a machine taking over the world that mankind created, and it works in that regard. And I guess I'll throw in my 2 tracks now while I can, and they are New Messiah and Recharger.
Now, as I said before, this is the second album that Burton and Dino have got back on the same page and got the band back together on. The first one was called Mechanize.
Yep.
And I think that one was good, but this one's better. The Industrialist is definitely a step in the right direction.
Oh, yeah.
As in, I think that this one could fit into their career straight after Demanufacture.
Yeah. Yep.
So it definitely harks back to the early days of Fear Factory, which is fine by me.
It's got all the trademarks on it, all their stamp all over it. It is definitely a Fear Factory album.
Definitely.
Yep.
Okay. That's enough for the Hard Rock Happenings.
Yep.
What we're going to do now is we're going to take a look at this new segment that Andrew was talking about at the start of the show.
Yep.
So what it is a classic clip.
Yes.
It's something that comes from way back that may or may not have gotten the credit that it deserves.
Pushed under the rug, so to speak.
Either way, whether it got the credit back then or not, it's been forgotten about, and we want to remind you all about the cool stuff that you've forgotten about. So,
all the stuff that's been there before has a relevant role in what is created now.
Definitely.
Yep.
And we might not bring this out every week.
Yep.
But we're bringing it out this week. So here's our first classic clip on the Hard Rock Show. And it's an awesome Australian band from the early 90s, late 80s, early 90s, called Kings of the Sun, with their track Drop the Gun.
His dad and son, he took his daddy
All right, so that was our classic clip of the week.
Yep.
Or of the month, maybe. I don't know how often we're going to bring this out, but...
it'll be there now and then, so we'll see what happens. Whenever we need something to put in there, it'll be good.
Basically, what we want to do is, as we said before, we want to remind you of some bands that you may have forgotten about. So, we're talking about bands like Saxon.
Yeah. Anvil is another one.
Anvil. There's a couple of Australian bands that people may have never heard of, so we might be teaching you something rather than just reminding you, like Saragon and Filicide.
Bands from the underground scene that never really, at the end of the day, made it to a great deal of a high level kind of a thing, but totally. Bands that still have their place in influencing the local scene at the very least, and deserve some credit for the work they've done. Yeah.
There's a band that we mentioned tonight, The Cult.
Yep.
They've been around for a long time, and a lot of people don't know about them. So, they could become our classic clip of the week.
I reckon Killing Joke could almost be in the same vein.
Killing Joke can totally be there. Yeah. I would love for Killing Joke to be there every week.
Yeah, absolutely.
But this week was Kings of the Sun.
Yep.
And they're an awesome band. They're based in Queensland at the moment. Brothers Cliff and Jeff Hode. Unreal blokes. They're not currently active. After the Kings of the Sun, they went on to do The Rich and Famous, and they never sort of reached the success that they got with Kings of the Sun.
Yeah.
But I'm personally of the mind that it's time for Kings of the Sun to make a return. If
everyone else is doing it these days.
That's what I'm going to say. Yeah. If everybody else is coming back, we're looking at... on next week's episode, we're looking at an EP by Ugly Kid Joe, which is awesome.
Yeah.
But Soundgarden have made a comeback, and everybody's coming back and doing albums.
Even Alice in Chains have come back a couple of years ago now, but yeah.
And fuck me, they've done it right too.
Oh yeah.
I can't. There's a new album from them coming out this year,
and I can't wait for that. Yeah.
But Kings of the Sun, they ended up supporting Poison and Guns N' Roses back in the day. I think they actually got booted off the Guns N' Roses tour because Jeff Hode might have talked shit about Axl Rose, which is fine by us. I think that's awesome.
I think we've kind of done it before anyway.
Yeah, it might have only been about 7 days ago.
Yeah, possibly. Who's counting?
But awesome band. They had a couple of albums, and there's still music coming out. This band hasn't played together in a long time, but there was an album that was released only a couple of years ago called Daddy Was a Hobo Man, which is basically stuff from the archives, and I'm pretty sure that there's another one on the way that's all stuff from the archives as well, which it's really cool. But I'd love for this band to get back together properly, and do a tour, and actually get out there and play these songs live, and play their older stuff live. I've still got some of their stuff on vinyl.
Exactly, yeah.
And I love this band so much, and I'm so glad that we've played this clip today, and I hope that you guys out there have enjoyed it, and I hope that you actually delve into the back catalogues and check out this band a bit more, and if they do happen to get back together and do a club tour, get out there and support them, because I think that they will put on a really enjoyable show for you all.
And one thing I want to add to this as well is that from what you've seen of the clip just now, I personally strongly believe, and you can all disagree with me as much as you like on Facebook or on the channel, whatever you want, I reckon this song that we played before stands up sound-wise to the stuff that's being heard today. It's relevant, and I reckon if it could fit right into what we're doing, that one song, to all the stuff we're doing at the moment, and I reckon it could really, really do well.
Absolutely, I agree.
Yep.
100%. All right, time for our feature artist of the week, Eden Burning.
Absolutely.
Awesome band. Yeah. Awesome band.
You've got more than me now. You went 5 times then.
I just did that as like a tribute to you.
Thanks, mate.
Awesome band from San Antonio, Texas.
Yes.
We love them.
Absolutely.
Was that a tribute to me?
Maybe.
Could you do it in James Hetfield style?
Absolutely. That just sounded like shit.
It's more like... Absolutely.
Yeah, okay, I see where you're going with this.
You don't say that.
Absolutely.
You don't say the Y on the end. It's an L-E-H.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Wow, we just got well and truly off track.
I think that's the most off track we've ever gone.
Who cares? We're a bunch of entertaining bastards.
We try to be.
Our apologies to Eden Burning.
Yep.
Here we go. We're going to talk about you now.
Yep.
This band kicks a lot of ass.
Oh, yeah.
They've opened for the likes of Saxon,
Yep.
Dokken, Quiet Riot, Brett Michaels,
Airborne.
and Australia's own Airborne.
Yeah.
So they've been around.
They've done some really good supports, and that speaks nothing but good things for these guys. And I reckon they would have held the crowd in the palm of their hands with the stuff that they're singing and performing. It's really good stuff. It fits right in with this stuff.
Shit, yeah.
Yeah.
It's real dirty rock and roll from the era of Motley Crue and Guns N' Roses. You know, it's dangerous sort of stuff. It's fucking awesome.
Well, my notes on this were that it's pure sex, drugs, and rock and roll.
It's my thoughts were dirty rock with an exclamation mark.
Yeah.
It's just dirty. I love it. And
Even the sound of it.
the album is actually called Banged Up and Dirty.
Yeah.
Which sums up the music that you're going to hear on that record perfectly.
It's a little bit raw, a little bit edgy, but the way that it's done, the way it's put together really goes into it. It works. 100%. There's nothing wrong with this album at all.
No, it's fantastic.
Yeah.
In saying that there's nothing wrong with this album at all, it probably does have a couple of little mixing, production kind of issues.
It might do
It could sound a hell of a lot better.
It could
with
do
a
it
bit
more
of
polished.
spit and polish.
Yeah, but at the same time, the way it is now, it does work for what they're all about.
It totally works. Yeah. There's bands out there that have recorded EPs, demos, and whatever that could learn a thing or two from the way this sounds.
Yeah, yep.
But these guys, it's not the kind of record that's completely polished
No.
and perfect, but it doesn't need to be.
No, that's it. That's the thing.
It does not need to be. That's the kind of music that they're playing, and that's the kind of vibe that they're probably gone for on purpose.
Yeah.
And it's just really cool stuff.
One of the things that I was thinking about when I was listening to this for the first time, because I did notice that the lack of polish, so to speak, it's not terrible for it. It's not terrible at all for it. It is really good for it. But it's one of those albums that you'll think in about, say, 5 years or so from, you will listen back to their back catalogue, and this will be the first release, because I've got another one coming up this year, they say, yeah. But it'll be one of those ones that you look back on and go, wow, they started there and came to here. It's when you go back to the nostalgia things with your Black Sabbaths and all those sorts of ones, when you listen back to the early stuff, and then it progresses as things goes on, then
it's a look how far they've come factor.
Yeah.
Which is a cool thing to be able to look back and see.
And I reckon these guys will have that.
Yeah. But we're going to play a clip from them right now. And this clip actually isn't on the album Banged Up and Dirty.
No.
It's from a movie soundtrack, and the song's called Smoke and Love.
Yep.
And it's from a movie of the same name, so check it out.
Does your radio work?
Of course it does.
Cruising top down and I'm rolling stone. Looking for love and I'm ready to go. 24 ounces and I feel just right. Fist in the air, gonna spark it tonight. Smoking love is in our sight. Smoking love makes
All right, now that was "Smoke and Love" by Eden Burning, which is from the movie of the same name, Smoke and Love. Now we don't know nothing about that movie.
No, we don't.
I don't care. It's an awesome song.
Yeah.
So,
We're not here to talk about movies. We're here to
No.
talk music. So,
although
well, there are.
we
some
will be
relevant-
talking about a movie in the upcoming weeks.
Yeah, so stay tuned, folks, for that one. Little tease.
But yeah, really cool band. That is the song that actually sold me on that band. They sent me a link for that song, and I went, I've got to hear more.
Yep.
Where's your album? What's going on? I need to hear more. Come
That's
on,
it.
send me something.
Yep.
And the album came through, and I went, oh shit, that song's not even on the album.
Yep.
But when I played the album, it didn't matter
You don't miss it.
because the album's cool.
Yeah.
The album's awesome.
Yep.
So check it out. The guys are on Facebook. They're on iTunes, all that sort of stuff.
Reverb Nation, the whole bunch of it,
Yeah.
yeah.
So check them out, and you'll love what they're doing.
Yep. You got a couple of favourites you want to throw in there?
I do.
Yep.
Yes. Nothing's Good Enough
Yep.
and Downtown. They're my two favourites. If Smoke and Love was on this album, that would be my favourite.
Yep. I can understand that. You were
But-
raving about that to begin with.
But Nothing's Good Enough and Downtown, they're my two favourites off the record.
Yep. All right. Well, my two are going to be If You Want Me and The Drinking Song. And I think that a song with a title like that kind of sums up what are you going to get out of the band. To a
Kind of
degree.
sums up what you're going to get out of the Hard Rock Show too.
Pretty much.
Yes.
That being said, this is a straight up, balls out, party sort of mood rock album. Does have your obligatory softer moments,
Yep.
but it is balls to the wall, good, solid rock and roll fun.
Fucking oath.
Yeah.
Now, that's all we've got time for tonight. So
Running out.
join us next week on the Hard Rock Show, where we're going to be talking about The Charge. We're going to be talking about October Rage. We've got a bit of news. We've got some releases. Who are we talking about release-wise next week? We've got Smashing Pumpkins,
We've got
ZZ Top,
Yep. I think we've got.
a DVD from Alter Bridge,
Yep.
the Rock of Ages movie. That was the
Yeah.
movie we were just talking about before.
You sure that's next week or not the week after?
Oh, I don't know. Tune in and find out.
You'll be surprised, folks.
Yep. So, until next week, drink up. Hang on.
And rock on.
Okay. So easy to edit.
Yeah.
And it's funny because I'm drunk. You're catching up.
I'm
so-
catching up.
And this is still going to be one of the best episodes, if not the best episode we've ever done.
We're getting better, fuckers. Because the egos are catching up to it as well.
Love the ego.
All
I
right.
see the ego as a tool.
Yeah. It's a usable tool.
Sometimes I see the man behind the ego as a tool too.
Yes, I like what you did there. Well done.
It's mostly my missus that sees it that way.